first long video on this channel, and today I want to tell you about how my correspondence studies at school in the 8th grade are going. I hope at the end of this academic year I'll record another long video where I'll tell you about the first study year as a correspondence study and why I switched on it. And today I'll tell you only about pros and cons. I want to say that in my school provides distance learning, that is when I can have online lessons, but I still chose correspondence option because when I switched to this study I immediately planned to study this way. Well, let's move on to the pros. Now we will talk only about studying. The first and quite obvious advantage is that you have a lot more free time. For example, after switching to correspondence studies this year, I began skate on skateboard a lot more. Started cooking sweets and doing more creative work. The next advantage is that I can take subjects much faster than they are at school and not get stuck on topics like at school, and if I didn't understand something I can deal with it a club mode. And also I mustn't have to go through all the subjects in parallel. For example, I usually go through the easiest subjects quickly at first, and then when I have a lot of time left, I'm not hurry. I start taking difficult and important subjects, for example, maths. Of course, there is less stress, control verification and similar work is carried out quite a bit. And, for example, I have only 3 trimesters and only 3 trimesters works are required for each subject. And only 3 trimester works are required for each subject. Of course, you can write tests on each topic, on each subject that you study, but it will take a lot of time, and I also decided for myself that there will be more stress too. Also started to get sick less this year because I have less contact with people. Well, in principle, stress also affects on my health. Well, the last plus for today is that you have to be responsible. Let's see. Because if you don't write some important test or work or score on passing the subject and then fail the final work, you'll either be expelled or questions will definitely appear to you. And also you may not close the year and in principle stay for second year or go to school. So this can be attributed to both advantages and disadvantages, but I attributed it to advantages because it teaches you to be responsible, and responsible is very important in our lives. So let's move on to the disadvantages. The first disadvantage that I want to tell you about, and in principle it's a vision. You must be very self-organized, because if you don't be very self-organized, you won't understand what are you going through and at what speed. Because if you don't have time to pass something, then you will have to go through it all very, very quickly. Then it will be your problems, your school, and your parents, but not teachers, like an ordinary school, for example. Next disadvantage will depend on which program you switch to. For example, distance learning, homeschooling, or something more. Because, for example, I study by correspondence and I have the opportunity to ask the teacher questions that are interested me or ask to explain a difficult topic. But this is done in online format. Well, that is during the conference. And for this you need to allocate time. So far, those who have their own schedule and it doesn't fit into it and they aren't ready to change it or spend time to it, you'll have to go through your program by yourself without the help of a teacher. The next disadvantage that I only remembered now, but it can also attribute it to the advantages. Maximum honesty on the part of teacher. That is, the teacher will be neither underestimate over undertime your grades. The teacher doesn't have the predetermined attitude. You see your knowledges and your mistakes as clearly as possible. The next and last minus for today is socialization, or rather its absence. For introverts, it will be plus, but for extroverts, it will be difficult without communication. Well, if you don't believe in all this, or you just now understand that you haven't something when you speak with, for example, or communicate with people without school or home, you need to think about new hobby or social way you can communicate with another people. So if you understand that you don't communicate with people, so if you understand that you communicated with people just in school and home and don't communicate it with people in another place, and you understand that you haven't some hobby or circles when you communicate, when you can, where you can where you can communicate with another people, you need to find the circle and, for example, try a new hobby if you haven't, or if you understand it's hobby that you want do without any people. I don't know what's its hobby. Maybe it's cosplay. Who knows? Who knows? So, for example, I consider myself more introvert, but I have hobby skateboarding. Skateboarding, my life and love, and I communicate in it with other people. I used to go to the theater studio, but I got tired for it, and I go out of it. Sorry, I got off the subject, but the disadvantages or minus for are over for today. In conclusion, I would like to say that disadvantages not take me so far, maybe because it's that I understand all of them when I switch on alternative study, but you must think about all disadvantages and advantages when you switched on it, and don't think about it once, think about it more than one time, for example 10, and make a decision only of your own. Because I have a situation when one people say me that it's bad decision to switch on this type of study, but it was very unpleasant and I was so angry and annoyed by it. But you must be ready for some people like these people in my life. And definitely don't listen people that say go to for example home studying very fast. Don't listen they, who knows what in their mind. So, and some that I don't speak about, that maybe you are an extrovert in your heart but you don't know about it, or you just like communicate with people and you like atmosphere at school or something another. Maybe the home studying, or in my situation correspondence study, it isn't for you, and maybe you will be difficult on it. So think and be aware. I wanted to say, but I understand. Then I'll uh, I'll talk as if I'm from some kind of guide. Just think about it and decide whether you need it or not. In any case, you can always go back to school. So, thanks for understanding and see you in next video. Bye.